everyone. Welcome to Tuesday edition of Take 5. This is the new week. Remember, we're doing two this week and every week now. And on Fridays, my friend Mark Pennell and I are starting this new podcast that we are calling A Fresh Take. This week as well is going to be a brief one. It takes a little while for fresh things to come about. Eventually they'll be longer, 20 minutes or so. This week will be a bit briefer as well. But so when we do, now that we're doing Fresh Take on Friday, Take 5 Tuesday, Take 5 Thursday, Fresh Take Friday. Got it? Okay, here we go. For 2 days, I want you to think about a word, indescribable. We talk a lot about God, and if we're not careful, we talk about God almost too easily. In the scriptures, there's the very clear mandate, you cannot make any image of God. Why? Well, because he's indescribable. In the Jewish faith, they won't even say the name of God out loud because he's indescribable. The Catholic faith has a really great phrase. It's the divine mystery. And that is sort of their way of reminding us that there is a part of God that is mysterious, that it's indescribable. I mean, if I asked you, what is your image of God right now? It probably would depend on your mood. It probably would depend on your upbringing. And so we all have these different images. Some are accurate, some are inaccurate. But the Bible doesn't want us just to be left guessing. Where am I going with this? If you remember English class back when you were in high school, there was the idea of when you wrote poetry and things like that, there was the idea of metaphors and similes. A simile is something that you say, this is as big as a house, and you're talking about, somebody's golf club where they have a new driver's head. Have you ever seen those? Those are big as a house. That's a simile. Or you might say, it's raining cats and dogs. It's like, really? Actually, today it was. That's a metaphor. You don't use like or as, but you're comparing this to that. In some ways, the scriptures are very good, very poetic, very generous to help us understand the nuances of how vast God is by using metaphors. And you know them. The Lord is my shepherd. We call God the great physician. There are a number of them. I'm going to read to you Psalm 18. And I want you to hear the metaphors that the psalmist uses here to describe God. And then I will say one more thing. And then Thursday, I want to look at these metaphors as well. Give this a read between Tuesday and Thursday. Psalm 18. Here are the metaphors that describe God. I love you, Lord. First metaphor. My strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer. Hear all those metaphors? He's not a rock. He's not made of stone, but it's helping understand this great mystery of who God is. My fortress, my deliverer, my rock, where I seek refuge, my shield, the horn of my salvation, my stronghold, or my high tower. Think of a high tower. Those are all descriptions of metaphors of God to help us understand who God is. And in this context, in the context of deliverance. We're going to look at those specifically on Thursday. But I want you to think again just about the metaphors of God. One that's commonly used, I used it at Trinity Church on Sunday, the metaphor of water. As the deer pants for water, so my soul pants for you. Think of that metaphor for a moment. As God is water, something that you need, something that your soul is thirsty for. God is water. And so I'm going to end there just to remind us that God is indescribable. You can't put him in a box. And yet the scriptures are so generous in giving us so many metaphors to help us understand who God is. Tomorrow we're going to look carefully, Thursday we're going to look carefully at Psalm 18, 1 and 2, and those metaphors of deliverance of who God is. See you.